Hello, everybody. Sorry to keep you waiting. I realized a few minutes before I was about to start that tomorrow's trash day. Need to get that trash out. And I know my brother Mike was hoping to be here, who's done some of the live streams. He might hop in a little later. Looks like duties of fatherhood have called him away from the duties of being a general manager. So this is the end of the fake Orioles dynasty. It's been quite a run, but I posted a poll the other day on the YouTube page, and I think it was, last time I checked, it was right around 200 votes, and I think about 85% of people wanted me to start a new simulation. So that's what we're doing for Out of the Park 22. So this will be the end of this team. I did not sim ahead 10 years, as I think a couple of people mentioned a couple different places to sim ahead so you can see the players. I figured I can do that if I decide to at some other time for a couple of reasons. One, I wanted to kind of give just the rundown of where the team ended with me as the manager. And then also my brother had mentioned maybe he would take over the team over on his Fake Sports Dynasties channel. So anyways, for that reason, we are still where we ended at the end of the 2033 season. And I'm going to go through a bit of the history. Let me go ahead and I think all these numbers are right. I meant to do it earlier and I kind of did it last minute, but I think all these numbers are right. So I played 14 seasons. In the 14 seasons, there were 34 live streams. This is the 35th, and 92 episodes. It's crazy what stay-at-home orders and a pandemic will get you started on, huh? And so 14 seasons. Two of them were kind of actually, let me go ahead and show you. Before I do that, why don't I show you the 2033 season for people who missed any live stream. So obviously we made it to the World Series, went down 3-0 on the Braves, came back, won 3 straight, and then lost Game 7. Heartbreaking. It was our third World Series loss of the franchise. And then just a couple interesting things happened in the award. So, I mean, I think we had a couple Silver Sluggers, etc. Our manager won Manager of the Year. But McKinley Moore, reliever, got 27 first place votes, dominated the Cy Young voting. We had Donovan coming 4th, Caldera coming 5th. Sanchez was on the board. But I've seen relievers win it. It doesn't happen often. I've never had one of my own relievers win it. I mean, 121 innings and 5.54 with 1.81 FIP, 38.6 strikeout to walk percentage. So McKinley won the Cy Young. That's not the page we were on. Cool. So McKinley won the Cy Young, and then in the AL MVP voting, Vlad Jr. at age 34 won it. Concepcion was second. Satchel, our trade deadline acquisition, was third. Armandaris was in the top 10. McKinley Moore got some votes. Ben Ortega got some votes. We had a bunch of guys. So that was how the 2033 season ended. And so Stronghold has been, I see your name. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. So everybody can see Bob Maldonado's biggest fan, formerly Stronghold CC. Appreciate it. 6'10" Bob Maldonado, certainly a fake Orioles legend. We will get to him. So give me just a second there. Why is that doing that? All right. So let's go back to the Orioles team page, and I'm just going to give you guys a few facts about this franchise. So, like I said, it was 34 live streams, 92 episodes, 14 seasons. So the 14 seasons, the first 2 were just a straight rebuild, right? I totally tore it down. And then the third season, kind of rebuilding. But really it was like 11 seasons where I was trying to win, I guess, so to speak. And so 14 seasons total, and then those 11 seasons made the playoffs 10 times, won 7 AL East, had 4 World Series appearances, 7 ALCS appearances, only won 1 of the 4 World Series. You know, that was disappointing. And then going to the team history page here, you know, the record Obviously, mine starts here. So the record of the entire franchise in a nice 2,269 games was 1,267 wins, 1,002 losses for a 558 winning percentage. If you take out these two rebuilding seasons when I went 56 and 108 and 68 and 94, the record was 1,143 wins to 802 losses, a 587 winning percentage. Really, we didn't start humming. I mean, the team was like, we went 92, 89, 89, 90, 90, and then 100, and then had a down year where a bunch of guys got hurt, and we lost a couple older veterans like Verdugo, stuff like that. And then 93. And then the team was poised for a long run, this 105, 115, 111 with no end in sight, really, because the farm system just was delivering consistently at that point. I think early on here in the first few drafts, I had some misses with my early picks. The 2021 draft, I think, was before the patch came out, so let's just blame that and not me or my scout. And then it really struggled with pitching in Camden Yards at times was the issue here. Even though, we were a 90, 100-win team, but this year more than any other year, or maybe I just figured it out, but I think more this year than other years, movement paid off in a big way. And by movement, I mean pitchers having good movement in Camden Yards really suppresses home runs, which I've always kind of tried to do, but the effect just seemed more exaggerated this time with my ERA and stuff, 4.43, 4.4. But then I was consistently, once I had the right pitching coach, the right movement, prospects coming through the system, 3.22, 3.10, 3.12 ERA the last 3 years. The team was poised for a long run, and who knows, maybe somebody like my brother Mike will give them that run. So those are kind of the quick rundowns. Stronghold, I appreciate the St. Patty's Day wish. And so let's go ahead. One tab that I always find interesting, sorry, lost my place, is this positional starters tab. And if you guys have questions about any of these dudes as I go through them, like how they ended up, let me know. So this is just who started the most games at each position through your years and some of the team history tab. So Ken, let's just run through it real quick. Stop, let me know if you have questions. We can go back and look at dudes. So obviously Adley was my catcher before he fell off a cliff, and then Camposano came in. He was good. And then I had Juan Trujillo for a season, Luis, and then Victor Trujillo really became a great catcher for me my last three years. And first base, Mountcastle held it down for almost 10 seasons then. And then perennial MVP candidate Mario Armandaris took over, probably my best draft pick, 14th round pick who won multiple MVPs. Was my first baseman the last 4 years. And then second base was kind of like all over the place. Ryland Bannon, Tommy Edman, first round pick Drew Bowser. Remember, I traded for Cole Tucker. Angeletto was a first round pick that was a second baseman this year. Then he was at utility for a few years, and he was my shortstop. Soto, Garcia were just kind of short-term guys. And then Chris Sandoval was a draft pick of mine from the 5th round of 2026, and he became my starter second base for the last 2 years. He was fine. Nick Matan was one of my favorite guys in this franchise. He was just a random throw-in. He's a real-life Phillies prospect, just kind of thrown into a deal with the Phillies way back on July 1st, 2020. I traded Tanner Scott for a bunch of prospects, and I got Nick Matan, who then came over and won Rookie of the Year and got some MVP votes in his rookie year with 6.9 WAR, a 142 WRC+. You can see he really never got to those heights again, but he still had a couple good seasons. I mean, there's a 117 WRC+, a 120, a 124. Wasn't a full-time starter. His rookie year was his best year, but he was one of the more random fun guys that came along. And I see I will get to those questions. JP, just sit tight. I haven't forgotten about you there. Soto, Sabato, Stewart, And then Gunnar Henderson, obviously, is my shortstop for a long time. After I tried to bring in a big gun, Correa and Seager, and neither really worked out. Henderson was great for me. Amador was a 1-year guy. Angeletto would have been my shortstop moving forward for a few years. And then left field, who can forget the Austin Hayes era? And then obviously we can't forget the Dylan Carlson area. Gerber was a fill-in 1-year guy. And then Ben Ortega, a first-round pick, who really was looking like a very good player. And then center field was kind of a mess for a while. Pilar. I know people thought it was funny when I said a PR. I think it's because Gary Thorne pronounces it that way, maybe, is why I said it that way. Anyways, Buxton. Jason Rosario came in and was good for a few years until he went and signed a huge deal with the Red Sox. Williams was a defensive first center fielder for me. And then Franklin Sanchez was looking like a perennial Gold Glove winner for me. Right field I had solid right fielders, but just not consistent for a while. Verdugo won an MVP with me. Warnock was great, but he was my DH for a while. So, well, he's not showing up on here. Weinberger was around for a while. And then Julio Concepcion, who finished second in MVP voting last year. Yeah, JP, this is one of my favorite screens of the game. I don't have favorite screens, but I love looking at it for purposes like this. But really, like the story here became I finally, like, my player development was really good these last 3 years. Like Armandaris was a draft pick, Sandoval draft pick, Stewart was a trade, Angeletto was a draft pick, Ortega was a draft pick, Sanchez was an international free agent, Concepcion was an international free agent. I mean, so much of my lineup, which was potent, came up through my system. So that was huge. Pitchers, you can do the same thing here. And what it gives you is this game file is so big. My Mac sometimes hates loading some of these pages. So what this will give you is the pitchers who started the 5 most games. The 5 pitchers who started the most games for you that year, and then the guy who saved the most games for you, and then the 3 relievers with the most appearances. So, obviously we had the Asa Lacy era, and we can go back and look at any of these players at any point. Patino was a beast for me for many years. Patino had a great career for me. Schilt was a draft pick who was good for me. Aguilar and Schilt and Donovan, my last 2 years, were my top 3 starters in games pitched. Caldera was a minor league signing who worked out great for me. Donovan was a trade. Schilt was a draft pick. Aguilar was a trade. McKinley Moore, obviously, dude struck out 213 guys in 121 innings. The 213 strikeouts he put up last year were the second most in Orioles franchise history by any pitcher. Durbin Feltman was like second all-time in O's appearances by a pitcher, and he was up there in saves too. So JP, fake Peter Angelos is not still alive. I can't remember when that happened, but Dan McDaniel is my owner. Does it tell you when he came in? It says 23 years experience, but he wasn't my owner. Yeah, I don't even know how to look for that. Sorry. We did. I forgot we brought in Manny Machado. JP, thank you for reminding me of that. I needed a third baseman one year and brought in Manny Machado back to Baltimore, and then I think he retired right after that, which is fun. He came back to. I would love that real life ending for Manny if he came back to a Orioles playoff team and closed out his career here. I don't think that'll happen, but Manny. Oh wait, let me search by Manny Machado. All right, Manny Machado. Yeah, man. Yeah, he came back and retired with us. He really wasn't bad at age 35. Put up 1.2 WAR and a 115 WRC plus in just under half season. Luke, are you talking about like a real life Rangers game? There's probably spring training on right now, right? So let's see here. And then another screen that's fun to look at with your team history and kind of run through what happened with your franchise is the draft history. I really like this page. Asa Lacy. We'll just go through my first picks. Oh, New York Rangers. Well, the Caps are off tonight, so I don't have hockey on. So Asa Lacy was my first pick. I believe I drafted him second overall. Yeah, second overall, and wow, he's still around. Let's just look at his major league career for a second. So he came up and he won Cy Young and Rookie of the Year in his rookie year for me at age 24. And then he was just kind of fine after that. He was a fly ball pitcher in Camden Yards. He didn't have crazy movement. He really struggled with home runs, like 1.4, 1.3. Kind of limited his ceiling for me, but he was still a solid pitcher for me. But then he just ran into so many arm problems. You can see he was a solid pitcher, and then all of a sudden he was out of the major leagues within 2 years. And that was 3 years ago, and he's still bouncing around. Good for him. But he's out with a torn flexor tendon in his elbow. Yeah, he's bounced around in A-ball. I actually had him pitch an A-ball Little League for me one year. Yeah, he's got a crazy injury history at a certain point. I appreciate him sticking it out, still wanting to play ball, but man. Yeah, so he did tear his rotator cuff like a month after I drafted him, and I was really worried at that point, but he ended up being fine. And then he had a bunch of short-term injuries, blah, 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 nothing, just daily injuries. And then he made it all the way to 2027, and he tore his bicep, which isn't great. But then the big one was here, 2029, tore his rotator cuff out for 5 months, and then 2030, he tore a flexor tendon. He was never the same. This was the injury that did him in, was the torn rotator cuff the second time. And then a torn flexor tendon in 2030. And then as Stronghold pointed out, he's out with a torn flexor tendon again. So that was Asa Lacy, my first draft pick. Jamie Chisholm is the next guy who never made it into the hearts of Orioles fans. He had 21 plate appearances as a major league player. That was a first overall pick. And that draft really sucked. I actually had some good players come out of it, but not him. Jack Perkins was around for a while. Jack Perkins, are we on the right year here? Yeah. All right. Jack Perkins was 2022 first overall. And he never really was great for me. That's what I was saying early on. I kind of missed with a lot of my first round picks, and they didn't develop well. I had some guys come out of the draft and had some good draft picks in that time, but first round picks I wasn't hitting on early, and I had high picks. Like this was an 8th overall pick, and he was just kind of like a 5th starter long guy for me. And he's in Houston now, pitching fine. He's a fine player, but by no means anything too special. And then Mike Angeletta in 2023, he was 21st overall, and he's still with me. He put up 2.3 WAR last year, 3.1 the year before, about a league average bat and a Gold Glove shortstop. JP, I'm not sure how to look at the highest career earnings. Out of my players, it would have to be like probably Armandaris or somebody like that. Let's see. Miles Janssen was another guy who disappointed. This is a guy who's coming up, and all of a sudden in the minors, he lost his control. Or maybe he had a 35-55, and then he had a 45-55, and then like the next year he's 40-40. He made it up to like AAA and was looking promising, and then all of a sudden his control just fell apart, and he never really pitched for me. Man, my first round pick sucked, huh? Dan Zimmerman was a guy who was probably a good enough bat. He's not as good anymore. He's 27. He's been in the minors for a while. He just never cracked my roster because he wasn't a good enough catcher, and he never had good enough trade value to justify trading for him. So I never really did much with him. Oh, JP, you meant of anybody. I thought you meant my players. Yeah, I can poke around at those players in a minute. Ben Ortega hit on this guy, 25th overall. And, he had a 4.7 and then a 5.2 WAR season his second and third year in the league. He was my stud left fielder. He was great. Jeff O'Brien was just kind of breaking in with me at 25, first overall pick, or 25th overall, first round in 2027. And he looked like he was going to be like a solid 4th outfielder is what I kind of had him as. And then Colgate, a whole bunch of these guys had not made it up yet. They were in the higher minors. So Treadwell was the number 1 prospect in baseball, though. He was coming. And then I had a bunch of international free agents on my team who did really well, too. So you guys want to see how some of these careers worked out. Some of these guys are still playing. Let's see if I can get to him just by saying Vlad. Yeah, Flagra Jr. He is 34 now. Career earnings so far, $309 million. And he has 565 home runs. So what, he's about 200 behind Bonds? and he's 34. He just hit 52 home runs in his age 34 season. I mean, if he plays for several more years, he can do that. So there's Vlad. Let's go ahead and look at Fernando Tatis, who just had an awesome season. I think it was first year in Arizona. Yeah, he just put up 9.4 WAR in his age 34 season. He's been an easy all-star / borderline or straight up MVP candidate like his entire career. 92.4 WAR, not a huge home run total. He's got 2,462 hits at age 34. He's gonna have a nice career. Was Vlad at 3,000 from 200 hits from 3,000? Stronghold said, cool. All right, let me try to pop up some of these questions. Andrew asks, biggest regret or do-over wish you could go back on? That could get deep. Are you talking about the game, Andrew? Or do you want to know my darkest, deepest thoughts? No. Let me think. I mean, I'm sure I had some bad moves in there. Obviously, my drafting wasn't great early on with first-round picks. I think my drafting overall was fine, but getting like stars in the first round, I kind of missed on. Let me think. What else? Yeah, there wasn't any. The biggest guy. Who was the guy? There was one guy who I traded away for I think it was Alex Wood, who was like a third starter for me when I was starting to get good. And I had Mountcastle at first base, which was fine. But I traded this guy, Alfonso Rivas, who I'd gotten for nothing when I was rebuilding. Just got him as a throw-in to a deal. And he was always just a good first baseman in the minors. You can see good numbers. And then I gave him an 82 at-bat run. He didn't do anything. I had a first baseman. I had a DH, and Philly really wanted him. And he went to Philly. And as you can see, he went 6 WAR, 7.6, 6.5 WAR. So a really good 3-season peak for him where he was he led the league in multiple categories for a couple seasons. So that was one of my worst trades, probably 5-time All-Star, 4-time Silver Slugger, and Alex Wood didn't do much for me. But I got Rivas for nothing. I wasn't the only team that misevaluated him. And so let's see here. Sharks fan has a good question. Single seasons and career records, if anybody broke. Good question. That is something I have not looked at in a while. I was going to build the report here. Like I said, sometimes if you have every league in your sim, you check off every box for some reason and have every league available. When you get 14 seasons in, it takes a while to build these reports. Don't do it. So here we go. So let's see. What do we have here? So nobody touched bombs. That seems about right. And for anybody who didn't watch some of the earlier stuff, I did tweak the offense down. So my run environment is 2016. So that's going to keep some guys from breaking records. I think some of these records might have been broken if I played out a bit further and let guys like Vlad, Tatis, Acuna's still there, and let them finish their careers. Some of these records might fall. But the only thing we have here is Miguel Sano on the career hitting side broke the single-season strikeout record with 302. Looks like Paul Goldschmidt broke the career strikeout record with 2,980. That's fun. So he played until age 42. All right. Played until age 42. In this strikeout environment, you're probably going to break a record. So Goldschmidt, wow. He never really bounced back, but he stayed in the league. That's crazy. I mean, he had some good years WRC+, but as a first baseman, that's not great. He never really did much again. Retired with the Diamondbacks hat. Yeah, so no in the record books is pretty funny. Matt's going to take this while to build the report every time I do it. That's disheartening. So let's see what else we got going on here. Yeah, keep throwing those questions, and I'll try to get to them. So nobody else broke a career record. Let's see. Single season. There's a 28. Christian Peralta in 2026 struck out 15.38 guys per 9. And that is a single season record. Peralta is a Dodgers international free agent signing in real life in 2018. And apparently he struck a lot of dudes out. He had 311 strikeouts that year. Looks like he's had some arm issues, though. He's only one of the last 4 seasons as he played full time. But yeah, so he broke the single season strikeout per 9 record, Mr. Christian Peralta. And then it's not surprising that the strikeout records are the ones to follow, even with me turning all that down a bit, right? Like by 2026, I was playing with the 2016 modifiers. So yeah, nothing else happening there. Let's see, any names? Devin Williams, hits allowed per 9. This is the Brewers guy. Yeah, the guy who's currently pitching out of the back end of the Brewers bullpen with Hader. This guy's incredible. Strikeouts per 9-inning pitch set the record with 12.54, and hits allowed set the record for fewest with 6.29. So, I mean, he didn't have a McKinley Moore-like season, but he had 4 seasons as a reliever where he was a starter a couple times. Oh, well, no wonder he had all the strikeouts. Okay. He won 2 World Series with them. He made the All-Star in 2030 when he put up 1.9 WAR. Okay. Interesting. So, and then another thing that's cool to look at, let me know if you have any questions. Happy to just run through this and show you guys whatever you guys want to see. Another thing that's fun is you can go to your team history and kind of look at this for your team. And this is one of the main reasons I was tempted to continue to play through it, is to watch guys climb these leaderboards, especially with the counting stats. But here on batting average, this is career Orioles. Bob Maldonado at 326 is 3rd. Armandaris is 10th at 303. Ooh, I just heard a beep. Mike Holden might have come in. Stand by. All right, we're just gonna add him to the stream here. Mike.
What's up?
Welcome. Thanks for being here.
Hey, thanks for having me. I apologize for my lateness.
It's okay. You wore a hood, so we forgive you.
Is this a hood up or a hood down presentation?
I think it's whatever you want it to be.
Cool. For a little while, I'll go hood up because it's very comfortable.
Okay. I want you to be comfortable.
Cool.
So where we're at is we ran through some history of the team, and we went through some records and draft picks and the starters at each position kind of by season. And now we're looking at the real Orioles / fake Orioles career leaderboards is where we're at right now.
Nice.
And what we have is Bob Maldonado and Armandaris are still up there on batting average. I think maybe they would probably both fall down a bit as their careers went on. Who knows if they'd stayed up there, if they would stay up there. And then on base percentage, Mario is 7th. Slugging percentage, Mario is 1st. Maldonado is 3rd. And then we got 2 other guys here. Larnack is 7th and Weinberger is 8th. And Armandaris has the single season slugging record over here in 2032.
Nice.
This guy was going to set every record. Armandaris 2nd in OPS. Maldonado 4th. Larnack is 10th. His career. None of them kind of
Larnack was better than I remember him.
What's that?
Larnack was good for you, but I didn't remember him being that good.
Yeah, he had. I think his fielding dragged him down some, and he might have. I mean, these first 2 seasons he was awesome. He had a 128 OPS plus and a 142, and then at 106, but then a 122, 117. Yeah, he was really good 4 out of the 5 seasons. But yeah, I think also maybe the hitting environment, I guess even in 2016, that would favor him over a lot of these guys. Career WAR 31.4 was the cutoff. So Mario Armandaris was not quite there yet. He was at 25.9, but he basically done that in 4 seasons. So in his 5th season at age 28, he was going to be on the leaderboard.
Yeah, he was going to. I mean, can you kind of project and see where he might have ended up he played his whole career as an Oriole? Would he have been top of the list by the time he retired?
I mean, so if he played, say he played another 8 years, right? And let's just say he'd average, I mean, he had a down year, right? Let's just say he'd average 6. Well, he averaged 6 WAR per 162. So that's another 48 WAR. So 48 on top of 25 is what, like 73? So he'd have like 73, 74 WAR if he did that. Yeah, Ripken's the leader at 61. So, and second place is 46. So he'd probably be second place within like 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, I was going to say he would quickly.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm really surprised. I mean, I know Ripken obviously is going to have a good shot at leading that list because of how long he played, how many games he played for the O's. I'm just a little surprised there's such a drop-off. But I guess Brooks Robinson, I don't know. And Frank Robinson maybe didn't have enough years with the.
Yeah, he had far fewer plate appearances than these other dudes.
So, yeah, same thing with Eddie Murray. Like if Eddie Murray or Frank Robinson had more plate appearances as an Oriole, they would have been way up that list. And I'm just trying to think of who else was around long enough, like who put together. I mean, how many years was Adam Jones an Oriole? 10.
I mean, I can tell you.
He's right there down below.
Oh, was he? Was he there?
I
guess he would be on that list somewhere.
He wasn't on WAR. He was on something else.
Yeah, so Jones with the Orioles put up 31.1 WAR. So he was 0.3 from making it.
Okay, got it. I was just thinking about other guys who did fairly well over a lengthy period of time.
Yeah, about 10 years. But yeah, I mean, he had a couple of really good years, but was just kind of like a good player for a while. He was never like amazing. So yeah, I didn't have anybody break into the games, or at bats, runs, nobody there. And I'm just looking at the career, not the single season. Although here you got Bob Maldonado on the single season hit record for 3 different seasons.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Total bases, Mountcastle made it. He's 8th. Armandaris, Concepcion, Maldonado, all over this single season. These are all, look at all these fake Orioles here.
I mean, all those 3 guys, Armandaris, Concepcion, and Maldonado, by the time you'd finish this franchise, if you did like another 10 years, those guys would be like all over it, like Ripken, Murray, Frank Robinson.
Right.
Those 3 guys potentially would all have numbers retired for the O's.
Yeah, I'd say so. Let's see, doubles. Same get on so Mountcastle obviously was up there a bunch. Mountcastle was 5th all time in doubles, but none of these. My current core didn't have enough time to accumulate all this. Like Armandaris has a single season home run record. He's also 8th, but he's only played 4 seasons, so he's not on here. But Bob Maldonado's 10th all time in home runs.
What did Mountcastle do after the O's in the sim?
So yeah, because he's on almost every counting stat leaderboard. Let's just go major league here. So nothing. He didn't really do anything. He played in LA for 15 games after I let him go, and then he basically didn't even have another 100 plate appearances. He's just bounced around in the minors.
Yeah, he fell off pretty hard for you after like that last year he had where he was really any good for you. It was a 3 WAR season, and then he had like 1 something, and then he was gone.
Yeah. And then, strikeouts is always fun. Mountcastle ended up 2nd behind Chris Davis, but fewer strikeouts in more plate appearances. Henderson was 5th, and that was all. Let me pop on the questions. There were a bunch. How many managers did I have? Is that listed somewhere in the history? It probably is, right? I don't think I've ever.
I bet it is, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever looked back at old managers, but I think I had like 4 or 5 because I had 2 retire on me, which was annoying. 2 different managers that I liked retired on me. Any notable Hall of Famers? Not from my team. I'm not sure who you're talking about, Orange Blue. Who's the GOAT? JP pinch hitting. Yeah, I mean, I had to pinch hit for Bob in that situation. I'd do it again. How do I sleep at night? Man, not always very well.
That was a tough spot, man. I remember posting a comment during that game that you didn't have any like amazing options. Like even your pinch
Omar
hitter.
Enriquez resents that comment.
Well, that guy's going to get shut down here soon when this whole sim goes away, so I don't have a lot to worry about. But yeah, you didn't have like a bunch of options to work with, and I don't know, man. If it was me, I feel like I probably would have been too nostalgic, and I would have let Bob hit, and he might have gotten out too. But
Yeah, no, nostalgia was definitely the reason to play him. But I mean, he was like 30% below league average against lefties that year.
yeah,
And Enriquez was like 40% above.
He'd had a double in the game already, though, right?
He did.
Yeah. So we don't need to cover it anymore. I'm sure Baltimore Sports Talk Radio beat that thing to death.
So Mr. Highway Videos want to know, Jack Leiter versus Kamar Rocker. Good question. They're both, Vanderbilt pitchers, I think, right now, and basically projected to go 1 and 2 overall maybe this year. Let me know if I've got that wrong. So Rocker has been with the Reds the whole time. They picked him 3rd overall in 2022. He's out with a torn rotator cuff right now, though, 33. He's made one All-Star team. He had a 5.7 WAR season, over 4 another season. He's got 25.4 WAR in 1,500 innings. About that's not a bad career. I'll take that from a third overall. Take that from anybody. Jack Leiter. So he was drafted by in 2022. He was drafted 1st overall, 1st pick by the Rangers, and then was eventually traded to the Rockies. Poor guy.
Wow.
Got traded to the Rockies, and he's put up 27.8 WAR in almost 1,800 innings. He had a 5.3 WAR season. I don't know. Their peaks, they're very similar, very close in WAR. Leiter a little bit more, but in a few more innings. But their peak season was pretty similar. They each made one All-Star team, I think. I don't believe I retired any. I don't believe I retired any numbers.
Do you get to do that? Do you when they were?
You can. Yeah, I think you can retire numbers.
You just have to go in and do it manually.
Yeah, I believe that's the way it's worked. I've never done it. Man, Stronghold he knows his Bob facts. Bob's double in that game was against a lefty too.
Mm-hmm.
But we were a data-driven team. We trust the process, and it didn't work out for us that one time, but we stand by the decision to pinch hit for one of the best players in franchise history.
You do. We. I don't know if you're talking about all of us, because
we, the organization,
the royal we.
So JP wants to know who my top 5 O's are. I mean, depends on how you want to say it. Like in terms of like favorite players, the one guy I showed you earlier, Nick Matan, who won Rookie of the Year and put up 6.2 WAR. Or 6.9 WAR in his rookie year, and then was solid for me, and he was just a random throw-in. I liked him a lot. McKinley Moore was super fun guy who just struck out everybody. The one guy that really made me almost wanted to play on just because of him is Julio Concepcion. Free agent signing in 2026. He's just 25, and in his first 2 years, he put a 5.4 WAR in just 125 games, 113 starts his rookie year. Yeah, I mean, he finished like 3rd in the AL MVP voting, and he didn't come up till like May 1st or something. And then he finished 2nd in MVP voting in his second year at 6.5 WAR, a 153 WRC plus. If I ever sit down to play this sim again, or like sim forward 10 years, it'll be to see what this dude did. Because he's coming out of the gates stronger than Bob or Mario Armandaris. Is
there anybody else, another prospect who hasn't made the club full time or who's still in the minors, who you think is going to be as good as those 3 that you're not going to get to see now have their career?
So we do have the number 1 prospect in baseball, Sean Treadwell.
How'd you get that guy? 29th overall pick, and he has become the number 1 prospect.
Yeah, he was 55 overall when we drafted him, according to my scout, and then all of a sudden he was an 80.
Nice work, GM Pat.
Thanks, man. Second baseman. Yeah, he's another guy. Hard to walk away.
Yeah.
And somebody had asked earlier, I'm not sure where they come on, who I'm considering teams in Out of the Park 22. I have some ideas. I want to wait till the game comes out to like look more specifically at contracts, budgets, all that. But I think basically what I said on the poll I did the other day is I don't want to do just like another straight rebuild. I want to pick a team that's kind of like in between, or a bigger budget team that like has some bad contracts and has some pain. So I'll do some videos. I'll do a video on that where I go through it before I pick it to let people weigh in. And this is a good question from Andrew. You want to know any players I'll be targeting Out of the Park 22, or do you view players from each save game independently? I will for sure. I won't go out of my way necessarily to acquire guys, but if like Nick Matan pops up on my radar in my new sim, like I'll definitely be more likely to trade for him. I don't think that Bob Maldonado is a real guy. Mario Armandaris, I can't remember what year I drafted him. Don't think he's a real guy, but if they pop up, I'll definitely be looking to bring him in.
So Bob was a July international free agent signing, right?
Yes, he was.
Armandaris was a draft pick?
Yes. Mario Armandaris, probably our best draft pick. I mean,
he was real late. Like, wasn't he 20-something round?
No, it was like 14th round, I think.
14th, okay.
13th. 390th overall, 2024. And, I mean, this year was – I mean, his 2032 season was one of the best seasons in Orioles franchise history. But, yeah, this guy came out of nowhere. You can see in the minor leagues, I mean, he's a little bit older. He's 28 because he was just a nobody.
Yeah.
When he was 18, he did nothing. He did nothing. I mean, his third year, he was still just in rookie ball, not really playing. And then all of a sudden, he started to get better, and I promoted him. I thought he was just going to be a dude who played on my rookie ball team for a few years, and then I cut him.
Even when he was in AAA, he wasn't going nuts.
Well, he had a brief stint in AAA where it wasn't great, but this is where he went. In 2027 in low A ball, he started ripping it up, and this is when he started to become a top prospect. And then he struggled a little bit at age 22 in Double A, but then dominated it. But then, oh no, you know what I did? Let me see this. Oh yeah, so 2028, he struggled and then he dominated, and then I called him up, and he was bad, and I sent him down to AAA. Yeah, and he wasn't that good in AAA. This isn't the order he went in. He went this year, 2020, he went Double A, Majors, AAA. And he was really only good his first stop at Double A, but then, yeah, the next year he was Rookie of the Year. He didn't crush AAA, but
he's a real guy.
What's that?
We've got a comment that he's a real guy.
Is he?
Yeah, look, Bob Baldono's biggest fan, formerly Stronghold CC, says Mario's a real guy. He's a high school catcher in New Mexico. We need to follow this.
Is this guy from New Mexico? Well, this guy's but I mean, same birth date, like July 20th, 2005?
I don't know.
I mean, that's enough. It's enough that a baseball player exists with this name, but I'm wondering if it's like they loaded that dude into the game.
Right. So if he was born in 2005, then the real guy would be turning 16 this year.
Yeah.
So he could be a high school player with the same name.
I'll Google it while Stronghold's also Googling it. Well, first result is a dude, definitely a catcher. Where's his birthday? Yeah, I think he's a high school freshman or something that says. Oh, come on, you're not going to give me his birthday? Hometown is different.
Okay.
So this guy's hometown is Albuquerque, New Mexico. I wish I could get a birthday on him.
5'11", 185.
Not getting that. It's not there. They don't have his they don't have a lot of info on him on this one page I found, but there might be other pages.
It might be a great post-pandemic road trip if he's the real guy. Just show up at one of his high school games with like 30 people from your live stream.
So he's 5'11", 185 in real life? Strong, because he's 5'10", 185 in this. So he could be in the center. Okay. Maybe, yeah. I mean, maybe this is him. Maybe we need to find it. We need to find it and tweet him. And be like, hey, man, this is kind of you, and let us tell you about how the rest of your life's about to go.
Exactly. And then your career is going to be just ripped away from you when your general manager shuts down the sim that you're in and moves on to something else.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate you having strong feelings about it. But I gotta, the people spoke in the poll. The people spoke.
The poll, it was a landslide. Everybody's ready for you to move on.
Yeah, I was surprised. But then everybody's ready for me to move on to teams that I don't want to do.
Yeah. Or their favorite team, some of them, right?
No, I'm just kidding. There were a bunch of suggestions. A lot of them, I think it's fair. A lot of people, when they play the game, want to do a rebuild and want to see rebuilds. And I understand that. I've always done the O's, and the O's have so often, except during the Buck and Dan years, been a rebuild when I've played this game. I just want to try something different. But I'll probably move this sim into the new game so I have a copy, because the O's are my team. If I come back to a sim, it's going to be this one. Oh, JP's got some different Mario Armandaris facts for us. There's apparently a Mario that is a sport desk technician at TriQuest Technology.
That's the guy then. That's the real guy.
Yeah, that's the guy who's in the game for sure.
Definitely. Go find high school Mario and say, look, man, things are going to go one of two ways for you.
Right. You're either going to become this guy for the Baltimore Orioles, or you're going to be at TriQuest Technology. Yeah.
Which just sounds like that's probably also a good career.
I mean, sure it is. Yeah.
When you're working your way up through the minors, at least, there's probably times where you're thinking, you know what, I should just go into IT. So
I think there are a lot of minor league players that probably think that a lot. They would rather be doing something other than playing baseball for nothing, basically. So
right. To be continued. We got to figure out the.
Yeah. So I wanted to keep this to around an hour. It's almost 10. So do we have more guys? Any more guys you all want me to look up? Any other questions you got there, Mike?
So I have a question. You might have covered this before I jumped on, but did you talk about what were some of your greatest trades in fake Orioles history?
No, we covered my worst trade.
What was your worst trade? You don't have to tell me in great detail, but
yeah, it was first baseman Alfonso Rivas that I traded, and he wanted to have like 3 great years with the Phillies.
I remember that guy when you played against him in a playoff game or something.
Yeah, no, he's with the Cubs for a while.
Yeah.
So Liam voted for a new sim because I think you want to be in from one on the beginning, maybe. Ooh, all-time Faco's starting rotation. Good question.
Wow.
Well, Asa Lacy's clearly in there.
Right? Yeah.
Even though he only had that one great season and then was fine. I think we got to consider our boy, Livian Delgado. He was never amazing for me. Oh, I spelled something wrong. Livian Del. Is that right? What am I spelling wrong?
I don't know. I can't see where you're.
All right. I'm making a typo there. Oh, Levon. Oh, because it's Levon, not Livian. Well, I think I called him Livian Delgado my whole sim, but it's Levon. Thank you. Travis is on it. It only took me my entire Out of the Park 21 sim to realize this.
Here in the final episode, figuring things out.
Stronghold, yeah, I mean, Asa Lacy, Luis Patino's definitely in there. Patino was probably my best overall pitcher.
And you had Luis Castillo for a while, but I don't know if
he was never good enough. I don't know that Marquez. Maybe I'll check him out.
That was the other guy I was going to ask about was Marquez.
Yeah, but I mean, here's Patino. He was with me for 7 seasons and was like 4 to 5 WAR every season. He was quite good. I forgot to look at Levon Delgado. I wanted to.
Thanks for getting his name right.
Yeah, no, thanks for bearing with me through that. Thanks for your patience. I guess he was never good. He just struck out so many dudes. His strikeouts were crazy. Like strikeouts per 9, 11.4, 12. I mean, for his career for me, he struck out 11 guys per 9 as a starter. Who else we have here? Yeah, Ben Schilt. Ben Schilt was a guy who was going to continue to be around and be good for us probably. He won a Cy Young. He was a first-round supplemental pick in 2025. Yeah, dude, he was 5 really good seasons, and he's 30. He probably had another couple seasons for us in there. Yeah.
You had some amazing relievers, too.
Well, yeah. 2033 AL Cy Young winner, McKinley Moore, is one of those guys.
Yeah. Felton was another guy, right?
What's that?
Was it Durbin Felton? Or was that his name?
Dude. Oh, we forgot to look at the pitching leaderboard. Sorry, let's do that before we get out of here.
Oh, yeah. Especially like save leaders.
Durbin Feltman's definitely on there.
Yeah.
And I think McKinley Moore cracked it too, even though he wasn't a saver half the time. Stronghold, did you realize the whole time that I was calling Livan Delgado Livian Delgado? Because I would appreciate that. Let me see. How good was Marquez for me? I can't even remember. I remember he went in on
a lot of seasons, right? What did you have him, like 5 years? I don't know.
Was he there that long? No, I only had him for 2.
Huh. All right.
But he was really good. He put up 4.2 and 4.5 WAR, and then he went and signed a big money deal with the Giants and got hurt a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's look at these. Let's look at these pitching leaderboards. So ERA. Yeah, no one's going to be there. Wins. Nah, I mean, nobody in this day and age is going to be racking those up. Winning percentage here. So single season, Sanchez in 2033, Schilt in 2031, Lacey in 2024, Aguilar in 2033. But then look at this all time: Aguilar, Donovan, Schilt, all currently in my rotation. Patino is up there. And then here's a fun one. Feltman would never crack the top 10 in a single season, but ended up 3rd all time in saves with 123. McKinley Moore 8th all time with 82.
Feltman's in there once at 7th for the single season saves.
Is he? Oh, actually, you know what? Now that I look at it, Feltman was 7th in 2028. I'm glad I caught that.
Yeah.
37 saves. Yeah.
Patino's in the war for a career.
Hold on, So he didn't have the heart to tell me, but what is this? It's Bo Bichette, not Bouchette? Bo Bichette. I say it. Hold on. Do I say it wrong? Because I say Bo Bichette. I think that's what he's saying. Yeah. Bo Bichette. Father Dante Bichette.
Yeah, Dante Bichette.
Yeah, I think I'm saying that wrong. Maybe he's saying a lot of YouTubers get that wrong.
Maybe.
All right, so yeah, career WAR, Luis Patino 8th. That's awesome.
Yeah, that is.
Nobody else cracked it. I think some of these other guys that are around would have eventually. Single season, Asa Lacy came in 6th. His rookie of the year in Cy Young.
Yeah, that was an awesome season.
So 27.9, he needed to crack it. What did he end up with for the fake Orioles? What am I doing here? Why is it just showing me the currents? Oh.
Wow, Google says you had it wrong in all the seasons. Yeah. I'm going to have to go back and look at the tapes.
Bo Bichette? I don't think I've ever. Bichette? No.
Oh, it's all out there on your YouTube channel, dude. We're going to check.
It feels weird. Maybe I have. I don't know. But Bichette does not feel like a thing I've ever said. Bichette. No, Bo Bichette.
Boba Fett.
Yeah, it's Bo Bichette.
I like Andrew's idea in the comments when, do a decision day when you decide who you're going to
have like all the hats on the table.
Yeah. You're going to have to buy a few Major League hats, though, to make it dramatic. I don't want to shell out those kind of bucks for hats.
Bobo Chef. Yeah, I get a lot of names wrong. I'm going to need proof that I said Bouchette.
We'll go back and look.
Yeah, I'd like proof on that. All right, so let's keep going down this leaderboard. Games pitched. Feltman pitched 75 games in 2025, which was 10th all time, and then he's second all time in games pitched, just 30 behind Jim Palmer.
Awesome, because you used him forever without making him your closer because you didn't want to pay him.
Right. Yeah, what a jerk I am. Yeah, here he is. Yeah, look at this. He pitched forever from 2022 through 2031 for me.
When did he finally start being allowed to save games? For a few years.
For his rookie year, and then really only for 3 seasons.
Right. Like, look at those years where he had 72 games, 75 games.
Yeah. Yeah. And he wasn't amazing, but he was just always solid.
Yeah.
All right.
How long was Jordan Hicks with you? Was he with you twice?
Yeah, I think he was. He was not long either time. Luis Patino was 10th all-time in career games started. Complete games and shutouts, nobody's going to be there. Innings pitched, doubt anybody's going to be there. Hits allowed, nope. Oh, home runs allowed, we'll definitely have some here. Yeah, Luke Weaver, twice, first and third. Castillo, Levan Delgado, 5th. Alex Wood, this is half guys from my sim. Leaderboard, the only one that made it on the career is Luis Castillo. Got walks allowed, walks per 9. I got a bunch of guys there. Marquez, Corrales, Lacey. Lacey, fewest walks per 9, 7th all time. Strikeouts is a fun one. Levan Delgado set the single season record with 233. Oh, McKinley Moore was only 9th last season as a reliever, though, in 125 innings.
Look at your guys in the strikeouts for career. So you got Patino at number 5. He pitched over 1,300 innings, but then you got Delgado on that list with only 835 and Lacey with only 941.
Yeah.
If either of those guys had a long career with you, the number of guys they would have struck out would have been insane.
Well, here they are, strikeouts.
Palmer and Mussina.
Yeah, strikeouts per 9. Delgado led, Feltman was second, then Lacey, and then current O, Donovan, DL Hall, Luis Castillo, Dylan Bundy. Yeah. So anybody got any other? These are less interesting ones.
Can you scroll up to the top of this page real quick?
Sure.
I don't know if you did this already, but if you click on positional starters.
Yeah, we went through that.
You did? Okay, with each year where you showed who was kind of looking back.
Oh, my man Dylan Lawson was on walks per 9, Stronghold. I figured you were trying to find clips of me saying Bouchette. Bo Bouchette.
Forgot about Dylan Lawson.
Yeah. 3rd all-time, walks per 9. He was a late draft pick, I feel like. 14th round. And actually, I forgot I brought him back at the end to pitch in AAA to come back and end his career.
Just to have him end his career, or were you thinking he might be able to come back?
I just needed some arms in my bullpen in AAA.
Got it. Okay.
He was never incredible. He was always just kind of like a 5th starter long man.
What did Jack Perkins do after his Orioles career?
He went to Houston.
Did you trade him?
Yes. So we got a question. JP wanted to know about Tristan Holden, who was drafted in the 2nd round by the Astros in 2033. He had a season in rookie ball where he didn't do too well. My long-lost cousin. Oh, well, I hope the quarantine goes all right, man. That's never fun. But yeah, if you find me saying Bouchette, I think maybe I said it too fast because I'll own all the guys. Livian Delgado. I said PR. There are plenty I mispronounced, man. I draw the line at Bouchette. So yeah, Tristan Holden was the guy that I passed on. Oh, oops, I didn't mean to do that. Yeah, Andrew. Yeah, that would take some thought. I think my first one goes into the most important ones. I think I'm going to do a tutorial, like a summary tutorial. I don't know. You can let me know if you think this would be helpful. But I figured when Out of the Park 22 came out, I'd like just like bullet point, like real short, like, hey, these are things you want to think about your trainer. You want to think about this setting, that setting. If you want more on this, go check out such and such tutorial. And then I'll have it in the description video. And then, like, you're going to want to think about evaluating your minor league players, and you can lock players to minor league systems, blah, blah, blah. And just give like 30-second snippets on different things and then have links to different videos that does that. I don't know. It's not exactly what you're talking about, but I don't know if you guys think that would be helpful. That's one thing I'm planning on doing, but maybe I'll not redo some of them, but freshen up some of the tutorials as well. But yeah, I don't know if that's similar to what you're thinking or not. But I don't know. You got any other questions before we get out of here there, Mike?
No, man, I think you covered it. It was the fake goes, man. This was a great run.
I think had a good run.
The one thing I think, too, like for people to remember about this Fakos franchise is you had the settings so that it wouldn't be easy for you to win, both the ones you had the way you had it set up for trades.
Right.
And then your own sort of rules that you would follow so that you didn't like just go in and dominate the Rule 5 draft.
Yeah. I guess I went over a bunch of stuff at the beginning and I didn't say that. I went over like the history of the sim. Yeah, I guess I didn't say the things I do, like, and I implemented it early on, basically where I don't take guys in the Rule 5 draft who are younger than 25. I didn't really claim guys off of waivers who were younger than 25. I had certain rules with when I could extend my young players and how much I had to extend them for, which I think I need to tweak again. But yeah, I had rules like that. I think when I start my new sim for, the Cincinnati Reds, Philadelphia Phillies, Kansas City Royals, Tampa Rays, San Francisco Giants, Seattle Mariners, or Detroit Tigers. Now I'm just ruling off random teams. Like 2 of those teams are teams I'm thinking about. I think I'll do a video at the beginning where I start off with all my rules and say, this is how I'm doing it.
Right.
So top selling Fakos jersey. Yeah, I think Bob, he's 6'10". He's a designated hitter. People love Bob. I think Armandaris and Concepcion would make a run at him. Asa Lacy would have sold a lot of jerseys as a second overall pick.
Yeah, he would have sold a ton. And then after he won the Cy Young and Rookie of the Year, he would have definitely.
Yeah, that would have been a lot of jerseys. But I had a lot of Rookie of the Years. I forget where this tab is because I don't check it that often. But where is something to let me know if they. There's the one with like is it the history index where you can look at the awards. Yeah. American League Awards winners. I had a bunch of Rookie of the Years, man.
There's Maldonado.
Where is he? Yeah. No, that's MVP, I think.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's MVP. So Rookie of the Years, I had Matan in 2022. Lesa in 2024, Maldonado 2028, Armandaris 2030, Ortega 2031, and Concepcion 2032. And then, MVP, I had Alex Verdugo in 2023, and then Bob in 2030, and then Armandaris back-to-back 31 and 32.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
And then Schilt and McKinley Moore and Asa Lacy were my 3 Cy Young Award winners. McKinley Moore won Reliever of the Year 2 of the last 3 seasons. He's also a real dude, by the way.
Okay, yeah, that's right. You told me that he was a real dude. Verdugo
had Twitter, and he's only got like several hundred followers. He's got under 1,000 followers.
Okay.
I feel like if we let him know how his career turned out, he might be interested. Yeah, he's a White Sox prospect in real life.
Cool. Verdugo is another guy who, for you, had a few years where he was really good.
Yeah, and he actually won an MVP after he left me too, but it took a ton of money. The second year after leaving me, he put up 7.2 WAR and won the MVP with Arizona. Right,
that year, what was it? It was one year. Is this the MVP year, 2023, where he had the 6.9 WAR?
Yeah, nice.
Nice.
He won 2 MVPs. It's funny, man. He won 2 MVPs, made 2 All-Star games, and 2 Silver Sluggers. So he was like MVP or bust. No, I mean, he was still solid, but he was basically like an above-average regular most of his career, and then an MVP twice.
Yeah.
Like he probably didn't get a single MVP vote any other season. Like not even like a second place vote.
And I see Jack Flaherty there on, I think it's the Cy Young list with Boston. Was that after he was an O?
Yeah, he went inside with Boston. Where is he? Where do you see him?
2028 or 27. Where is it?
Yeah.
2028. So after he left you, he was kind of a bust for you.
Yeah, he wasn't very good.
And then he went and got a Cy Young in Boston.
Yeah, Camden Yards didn't treat him well. He won 4 Cy Youngs.
But none with you.
No, he wasn't good for me at all. I don't know if it was a Camden Yards thing and he didn't have good enough movement, but yeah.
Maybe, yeah, because he had been amazing in St. Louis the year or two before you got him.
Right. But cool. Well, let's cut it off here.
Cut it down, yeah, man.
We can always, you know, do some more deep dives over the Fake Sports Dynasty channel or something with this sim. Or, you know, it might get picked back up by you. I might open it back up one day. But for now, it's being retired. I'm going to open up a sim with probably the New York Yankees for Out of the Park 22. No, just kidding. I won't do the Yankees. But, yeah, I don't know. We'll do what? We'll do some videos after the new one comes out where we talk about the team I'm going to be and all that, which I think the beta comes out a week from yesterday.
Cool, man.
Next Tuesday, and then the official version next Friday, I think. Stronghold, JP, Andrew, who else was there? Sharks fan was here. Travis, Liam, thanks for hanging out. I don't know if I'm forgetting anybody. Burn Supremacy was here. Mr. Highlight Videos was hanging out. Orange and Blue Shirt Podcast. I don't know. Sorry if I forgot anybody. Luke was here early on. So thanks for hanging out, everybody. And baseball is cool.
Good career, GM Pat.
Thanks.
And winning the World Series, man.
Yeah, I didn't envision when I bought Out of the Park 21 that I would be putting it on YouTube, let alone be having a wrap-up show on it a year later.
And here we are.
Oh, Andrew's here. Thank you, Andrew. Glad you had fun. Well, Mike and I will be back with some more good content here on the Fake Sports Dynasty channel once Out of the Park 22 comes out.
Yeah, man. I got my I crossed over the magic number of 100. So now if people want to go to my channel, it's just I've got the custom URL. So
nice.
youtube.com/Fake Sports Dynasties.
Nice. Maybe we'll have to do a Fako's deeper dive on there.
Have you on as a guest.
Do it for charity and see if we can do it for like 12 straight hours, talk about the team.
Yeah, I'm sure we could.
All
a real deep dive. All right, man.
See you guys next time.
Later.